Hey guys, welcome to Anarchy Worm Bin. I'm going to go through my experimental worm bins, flowers, peppers, bread, and normal food, and I don't have a plan at all, so we'll see how this goes. Okay guys, here's my plan. I'm going to just go through each bin, count as many worms and cocoons as I can find. Worms and cocoons will go in here. I'll weigh them out just to see like if there's a difference. I did weigh them before they went in. If I have any compost that I can use, I'll keep it in here, but I'm not expecting any. This just wasn't running that long. I have my sifter, I might be using that, but again, doubtful that I'll get any vermicompost. I just kind of want to see what happened in each of these, and then I'm doing it right on the urban worm bag. These guys are going right back home as soon as I'm done. So this seems like it will be pretty boring, so I'll be watching some of your videos while I'm doing it. Okay guys, this is the flowers bin. I just wanted to show you before I put this back. I've gotten all the worms out. They're in there. I just didn't expect it to be this well broken down. It really does seem like they've gone through most of it. It does have that dark, rich color. Absolutely no smell. I'm trying to gather all of the information I can. I could not count them one by one, guys. I'm so sorry. And it wouldn't help with this anyway because I didn't start out by counting them. I don't know how many I started out with, but I do know the weight. And I'll have all the numbers at the end for you. I did just want to show you kind of what came out. And this little ball of worms, 7 ounces, 7.33. The container weighs just over an ounce. So again, I'll have all the numbers for you. I just want to gather as much info as I can. So when I started seeing how dark the casting looked already, I thought I'd show you guys. And I wasn't actively looking, but every time I came across a cocoon, I marked it. So we'll see how many cocoons we find and if the weight of the worms changed at all. I tried really hard to get all of the food and stuff off. So you just can't get it all, but we'll do what we can. Thanks a lot. I'll be back with the other bins. I just wanted to show you guys the bread bin before I start to harvest it. I've been keeping the food down at this end. Food and bedding, you can tell it's not getting touched. They're working through the bedding down here. There is no food down here. I'm just shocked. They're not really going toward this bread at all. They're all down here in the bedding. I haven't ventured in here. I don't want to dry heap on camera, so I'm just going to do the same thing I did to the flowers bin. Go through it, get as many worms as I can out, weigh everything, write down everything I can observe, and hope that it helps. I'll be back. Okay, this is what's left of the bread bin. This is the compost that came out of it, or at least what I could sift. It looks good. It's got similar features to the flowers bin. Not quite as dark, but it's fluffy and a lot of it's worked through. This, I don't think I'm putting back in. I might put this in my outdoor compost bin. It doesn't smell good. There are a lot of little pockets of, this is just like a slimy, gooey, kind of the consistency of like a melted candy bar. And it really doesn't smell good. I've gone through it. There are no worms, no cocoons in it. And then these are the worms we got out. They're happy and healthy. I was surprised at how many cocoons and wisps and little tiny little ones I found. They were happy in there. Really a large number of babies in here. Either that had just hatched or they were very young. So not just juveniles, but anyway, I'm gonna put these guys back in. I've already weighed everything and I'm going to start on another bin. Okay, this is the peppers bin. I've gone through, I think, pretty well. It looks similar to the other bins. They did get through a lot of this. There's some bedding left. I will say, don't think I'll ever use peppers in my bin. Not in my indoor worm composting bins anyway. I don't think these skins are ever going to break down. That's one reason. The stems too. And it will outside, and it probably will eventually. I know it will eventually, but I also wanted to show you another reason. So these seeds, where am I? Right here. These seeds look a lot like the cocoons. It was really hard to tell. That's a seed right there. Cocoon, cocoon. Having said that, I found a lot of cocoons, so many. I was shocked. Not as many baby worms, but well over 30 cocoons. Let me see if I can grab these guys. The worm population, I think, just exploded. I'll know at the end when I count up all my ounces, and I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna keep going. I have one bin left. Okay guys, I'm in the normal food bin. This is gonna be tricky because I'm trying to balance the camera and still show you what I keep finding. So these are tiny, of course, but there's something in here that these little white mites keep collecting on, and they're the tiny non-moving white mites. And it's something I put in here. I have a theory. I think it's avocado that just got squished with some paper, like white paper, bleached paper, whatever, shredded paper, and they just keep finding little pockets of these little white mites. This is nothing. Like, I pulled out some that were just caked, and they don't move. They just kind of chill out there and freak me out. And I don't know what I put in there, but I'm thinking this might be another good experiment, just to try to see what foods attract the mites. I really don't know if you can see that very well. I'm trying to get it to focus, but tiny white mites. These guys were not in any of my other bins, so I'll figure it out. Okay guys, this is the finished compost from the normal bin. It looks pretty good. I'm surprised at how much bedding is still left in it, but I'll have to go back and look. I may have added more bedding to this bin just because there was so much wet food. I am not sure. And then I got the worms out of this one. I'll have the final weights for you. I just had to do the gratuitous worm ball, and yeah, I did try counting them. Wayne Tadlock, this is for you. It was horrible, but I tried. I really did. The problem is I have an attention span of like a, what was that? Hey guys, I think I'm ready to go over the results of the bins. I'm shocked. I know I said in this video that I wouldn't put peppers in my bin, and I think overall, although it was a close tie for first and second, the peppers bin probably did the best. I'm shocked it had the biggest gain in worm weight. It had the second best composted soil, and by far it had the most cocoons. And I don't know that I can explain that. And they weren't pepper seeds. Also, my takeaway is that I want to do this again. I want to do it for much longer, in more controlled environment, bigger bins, and carefully weighing the worms before. My issue with these 4 bins is that I just kind of eyeballed it. And although I have the weight, I didn't count them going in. And again, I don't know that I could count them going in, but I think I could have a more accurate weight and have them more closely, close to the same weight. These guys, and you'll see on the bar graph, although they had fluctuations in the weight gain, they weren't exactly the same going in. Still, I think the weight gain is amazing in the peppers bin, and in the flowers bin. Those were the 2 biggest. So let me quickly go over this so you're not bored to death. So of course, these are things that stood out. The bread bin had the most wisps or babies. I didn't see hardly any cocoons. I counted 5. I wasn't looking with a microscope, just as I came across them, I saw 5 cocoons, tons of wisps. I'm gonna say I don't remember how many, but I'll make sure it's in the bar graph. Very minimal mites. All my bins had only red mites and very few, except for the normal food bin. I'll get to that. Oh, that's next. The normal food bin, 21 cocoons. That's huge. That was a lot. The weight gain in the normal food bin was 1.97, almost 2 grams, or sorry, almost 2 ounces. Same with the bread, almost 2 ounces of worm weight gain. Again, a huge amount of mites in the normal food bin, but one thing the normal food bin had that the other bins didn't were these non-moving white mites, and they were always on the avocado. They were congregating, packed, and I would love to do some kind of experiment just to see what kind of foods draws which kind of mites, or hopefully how to get rid of them or keep them under control. Okay, the flowers bin had the most decomposed or best composted soil and bedding. It's like they ate everything in it. There wasn't anything left. When in the normal food bin there were pieces, skins. In the peppers bin there were skins, seeds. In the flowers bin they ate everything. They wanted everything. They ate the bedding, they ate the flowers, they ate the stems, the petals, everything. Really couldn't find any remnants of anything recognizable after they were done. I found 9 cocoons, 5 babies or wisps, 4.05 ounces in worm weight gain. Very minimal mites, 2 fruit flies. And the peppers bin, again, blew me away. Well over 30 cocoons. I stopped counting. There were so many cocoons. There were babies. There was a 4.69 gain in worm weight. That is the most. And its soil was very close to the flowers bin. Second best composted, I would say. I could have easily sifted the flowers or peppers bin and used the castings, and that was a very short amount of time. I didn't expect that. Again, minimal mites in the peppers bin. So I think that's it. I really want to do this again. I'm so glad that you guys came along. This was awesome and fun for me. So I'm stoked if it was fun at all for you guys. I will switch to this view of this cool bar graph. Thank you again, Wayne. So sorry I didn't count worms. I am not as good as you and Lilia, but one day. Okay, thanks guys. Okay, here's the spreadsheet. Thanks again, Wayne Tylock. You are amazing. This is the first one he made. It does have my numbers on the left, but he did make one in addition, the extra column, the green. I believe he described it as being the projected worm weight gain. Again, the peppers bin was unreal. It just blew everything else away, and I am eating my words, or I will soon. I just pulled those. Sorry, this is our elk head that the dog got a hold of. But those I just pulled out of the garden June 20th. I don't think I've ever harvested zucchini this much anyway this soon. So this works.